Hello friends and welcome to SIT Astrology Studio. So today we will be discussing about the Saturn Mahadasha. Now this is one of the most important topics in astrology because Saturn, people have a fear of Saturn. Whenever the Saturn Dasha, Mahadasha or any planetary time period comes upon the person, then a person experiences a certain type of fear. So there is no need to fear from by hearing the name of Saturn Mahadasha. So moving on, Saturn is a kind of a planet which represents the hard work, which represents discipline. It also represents the delays, the patience level of a person. It also represents the responsibility on a person. So Saturn represents labor, it represents oil, it represents the steel. So these are the karkas for Saturn. So Saturn is a kind of a planet which will give results in its planetary time period depending on the position in your birth chart. Also Saturn gives results depending on the karmas or the deeds which you have done in your life. If you have done bad deeds, then Saturn will punish you. If you have done good deeds like charity, and there are different kind of, if you are a very good natured kind of a person and you are doing very good deeds, then Saturn will definitely gonna give you good results. Moving on, Saturn Mahadasha time period is of 19 years. It's a very long time period, and it is a time period when a person experiences lot of things, lot of responsibilities. A native will be, depending on the Saturn position, native may indulge in bad deeds or good deeds. Also during that time period, it's a life changing experience for that particular person. So if Saturn is well placed in your horoscope, if it is exaled in the sign of Libra, and it is it's in a very good position in your horoscope, then it will give good results. It will give you honor, it will give you the authority, the power. You may have a sense of responsibility, and you will do your work in a very good manner. Also, if Saturn is badly placed in your horoscope, then that particular time period of 19 years will be a very struggling time period for you. It may give certain delays. It depends what kind of delays would that will be. Like, it may give you a delay in marriage, there will be a delay in your career life. It depends on your Saturn's position. There will be lot of sorrow, there will be lot of problems in the life of a native. So these are the things which you have to judge, whenever you will be having a Saturn Mahadasha time period. For Saturn Mahadasha time period, you have to see the position of Saturn in your horoscope. At what degrees your Saturn is placed, in what nakshatra your Saturn is placed, whether your Saturn is having a malefic influence of planets or it is under the benefic influence of planets. So that time period will depends on the your Saturn's position in your birth chart. You have to look at your Saturn's position in your D9 chart also, which is the Navamans chart. If suppose your Saturn is sitting in a very bad position in your birth chart, and it is sitting in a very exalted position in your D9 chart, then the results will be 50-50. There will be good time period and there will be bad experiences also. So all this depends on the Saturn's position. Also, Saturn can make you a leader. Saturn can give you, sudden ups in your career. Saturn can also make you a very practical person, because Saturn is very practical. Person will attain success whenever he will be very practical in his approach. So Saturn can make you feel like very practical. It will make you work very hard. So Saturn is a kind of a planet which gives results depending on the actions of life, the karmas. Whatever you are doing, Saturn is giving back. If you are doing good, Saturn is giving good results. If you are doing bad, Saturn is giving bad results. Especially when Saturn is exaled in the 10th house and you are going through the Mahadasha of Saturn in the 10th house, that time period will be very good in terms of career. You may be having certain promotions, you may have a sense of responsibility, whether it can be personal or professional. Especially 10th house is your professional house. So in terms of your job, you will be having a responsibility, authority, power if your Saturn is sitting in a very good position. Saturn in 8th house is very bad, because whenever you will be running through the Mahadasha of Saturn and your Saturn is sitting in the 8th house, that is known as the Ashtam Shani Dasha. Ashtam Shani Dasha is kind of very bad planetary time period. You also have to look the planetary transits. If your Saturn is according to the yearly transit, if your Saturn is sitting in the 8th house, and in your birth chart also your Saturn is sitting in the 8th house, that is known as Saturn returns, and Saturn will return in the Ashtam Shani position. So you may be having problems in your day-to-day life. You may experience problems in you health wise. There may be certain disease. So these are the things which you have to judge. Whenever during the planetary transit Saturn comes in the 4th house, that is known as Shani Dhaiya or Shani ki Dhaiya. That is also considered as the very kind of a bad planetary time period of Saturn, and a person will experience more burden and there will be more obstacles and delays in the family life. In the if you are, especially if you are in the real estate business, you may experience certain problems in that. Saturn in 3rd house makes a person work hard. Also Saturn in 3rd house is kind of a shows that the relationship with your siblings. So in that particular Mahadasha time period, if your Saturn is placed in the 3rd house and it is placed in a very good position, then you may get help from your siblings, from your brothers, from your sisters. So you have to judge the Saturn's Dasha accordingly, in what nakshatra, in what house, in what conjunction your Saturn is placed in your birth chart. Saturn plus Moon can give you mental problems. Also Saturn plus Mars, Saturn and Mars together in conjunction or in aspect can make you very arrogant, can make you very, very angry. It can also cause certain mental disturbances. So you have to look whether your Saturn is sitting alone, is it exaled or debilitated, is it sitting under the influence of positive or negative planets. So you have to look all these positions before reaching to the final conclusion. You also will be experiencing Saturn's Sade Sati time period during the Saturn's 19 years Mahadasha, and I'll make a separate video on Sade Sati also. Moving on, if your Saturn is in 8th house, like I said, that 8th house is like Ashtam Shani. But if suppose in certain cases, if your Saturn is in 8th house and you are going through the Mahadasha of Saturn, and your Saturn is under the influence of benefic planets, then you may experience occult sciences. You may go into the line of occult sciences also. So these are the things which you have to see. If your Saturn is sitting in the 6th house and you are going through the Mahadasha of Saturn of 19-year time period, and your 6th house Lord is also sitting in a very strong position, and your Saturn is also in a very benefic situation in 6th house, then your enemies will get destroyed. There will be no problems, no harms from the enemies. You will win over your enemies. So these are the things which you have to judge. You have to judge the Antar Dasha also, you have to judge the Pratyantar Dasha also, which will trigger into different events. Also you should know that this 19-year time period is not a very bad time period. It is kind of a mixed time period. It depends on the Saturn's position and your karmas. So guys, I have uploaded some more videos on astrology, different topics of astrology. You can see all those my videos on my YouTube channel, Sid Astrology Studio. So guys, subscribe my channel, like my videos, comment on my videos, and thanks for watching my videos. Stay tuned with Sid Astrology Studio.